Assalamu everyone, I'm Muqaddas Education Wali and I'm a student in Rehan School Foundation course batch 2. Today I will be asking questions from Maya based on wow, the origin of an expression of surprise. So let's get started.
Hey, so what's been going on?
Hi, so I'm going to ask you a question. Can I start?
Yeah, of course, go ahead. What's your question?
So, what does the expression wow usually communicate in everyday conversation?
Hmm. Wow is surprisingly versatile, isn't it? At its simplest, it's just surprise, but it's rarely neutral. Depending on delivery, wow can swing from genuine amazement, like actually seeing something incredible, to disbelief, mild annoyance, even sarcasm. The intonation is huge with that one. What specifically about wow caught your attention?
Nothing. So, where did the word wow originally come from?
Just thinking through some possibilities. So it actually started in Scotland in the 1510s. It was just this natural sound people made when they were amazed, basically. The word itself is imitative, sounds like what it is. It's interesting that it's so ancient compared to how much we use it now. And apparently, the verb form to really impress someone came along in American slang much later in the 19. Did you know that?
Okay, so how has the meaning of wow changed over time?
That's a good question. At its core, I think it's kept the sense of strong feeling. Originally, it was pure amazement, right? But it's definitely picked up other shades. Like now, it can be sarcastic. You drop the wow when something is obviously bad. That feels like a pretty big shift. Or even just flat approval. Wow, that's great. It becomes almost perfunctory. Wonder if that happened because saying wow became so automatic, it lost some of that original, genuine reaction behind it.
Okay, so why do people usually use short expressions like wow instead of full sentences?
Good point. I think brevity actually adds force there. A full sentence feels processed. Wow is immediate. That immediacy is half the communication. Also, it carries a lot without explaining. It shows you're registering something big. We're quick to pick up on nonverbal cues anyway, so a simple wow lets the other person fill in the exact emotion. Saves everyone some time, maybe? Plus, it's harder to overthink short utterances than it is verbose, structured sentences.
Okay, so what emotions can wow express besides surprise?
I heard you say, could you say that again? It came through a little garbled.
What emotions can wow express besides surprise?
Right. Okay, so beyond pure surprise, wow can do a lot. You've got disbelief, that upward inflection says, I can't believe this, as much as that's amazing. Then there's sarcasm, which flips the meaning entirely. Also, you can convey awe or respect. A really soft, drawn out wow feels different than a short, clipped one. And sometimes it's just acknowledgement, like, wow, that was difficult, or wow, thank you, even when there's not that much shock. Pretty wide range for one little word.
How do expressions like wow help people communicate feelings quickly?
Expressions like wow, but bypass the need for explaining your emotional process. You just short circuit to this moved me strongly. In that moment, you're offering that genuine reaction, whatever it may be. People aren't looking for a lengthy explanation when something hits them, they respond to the raw feeling. Plus, there's this shorthand that builds up around these phrases. We all know what a certain tone of wow usually means, so the speaker doesn't have to spell it out.
So, are there similar expressions of surprise in other languages? Give examples.
Good question. Let me think. Okay, so there's a whole world of sound for surprise. In Spanish, they'll say, no me digas, which is like, you don't say, completely captures that disbelief. French has ah bon for is that so? A bit more subtle. German goes for the dramatic ach du Liebe, while in Japanese it's often just maji, like a simple really. And in Mandarin, they've got wow, which sounds really similar to our wow, but you also hear people saying, ah, yeah. That one's more like a whoa or oh dear. Dutch has its own exclamation point going with JG. Sounds like emotions translate pretty directly, even if the words are totally different, huh?
How does tone of voice change the meaning of wow?
I mean, wow, right? It's wild how much inflection completely changes that one little word. A drawn out woo sounds completely genuine, like you're genuinely impressed or amazed. Short and sharp wow can come off as more sarcastic or maybe just acknowledging something without strong emotion. A quick upswinging tone sounds more incredulous. Wow, really? Versus a low, thoughtful tone, which could be genuine curiosity or acknowledgement rather than big surprise. It really does rely on how it's said way more than just the word itself.
Can wow ever be used sarcastically? Explain how.
Definitely. Well, become sarcastic when it's drawn out and has a certain downward inflection. Picture someone saying, well, to, with that extra long sound. It's rarely sincere warmth. That tone signals annoyance or disapproval dressed up as polite observation. The context helps too. If someone just messed something up and you say, well, Lou, with that drag, they get it instantly. What was happening that made you think about sarcastic well specifically?
Um, so, why are interjections important in spoken language?
They're like emotional shortcuts, aren't they? Instead of fully unpacking our feelings with whole sentences, we can convey so much shock, pain, excitement with something like, ouch, wow. Or they also show we're paying attention or that we're following the flow of conversation. Uh-huh keeps you engaged while someone is talking. Well, interjections like, whoa, change the whole temperature of a conversation and help with reactions faster than forming full thoughts. They add something that logic just can't capture on its own.
So, how do culture differences influence the way people express surprise?
That's a really interesting question. I think culture dictates what feels socially acceptable to show surprise, right? Some cultures might encourage really boisterous displays of emotion, loud wows, clapping, maybe even dramatic expressions. Other cultures might be more reserved, where surprise gets communicated more subtly through posture or facial expressions instead of vocalizations. There's even the difference between what's considered polite versus impolite to exclaim about, like what would feel natural when someone shares good news versus when someone's being told something negative. Cultures shape how dramatic, reserved, or direct that surprise gets shown.
So, in what situation is saying wow considered appropriate or inappropriate?
You probably meant wow, not while, just checking. As for when wow works and when it doesn't, it's pretty versatile, but there are definitely places where it falls flat. Like imagine hearing about something really serious. Someone just lost their job or their loved one is sick. Dropping a casual wow there would definitely read as insensitive or dismissive. But for genuinely surprising news that's positive, or when seeing something genuinely cool, finding out someone's getting married or discovering something awesome, then wow is perfect. It really matters what's at the heart of that exclamation.
Okay, so how do media and popular culture spread expressions like wow?
Media is actually pretty powerful in spreading these little emotional catchphrases around. If something takes off in a show or meme format, wow becomes shorthand for that cultural moment, right? Music uses them. You hear surprise reactions in lyrics or beats. Ads do it too, using wow and reaction shots. Once a phrase gets that wide exposure, people pick it up pretty naturally. It just becomes this shared language. And then social media takes it and runs with it, making new memes and trends. It's this snowball effect where pop culture gives the word new meaning and then we absorb it back into our everyday language.
Okay, so thank you so much for answering my questions. Bye.
No problem at all. That was fun diving into the world of WoW with you. Hope you find it useful in your streaming setup. Maybe analyze how your audience reacts to it. Have a great night.